Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man, with me, Ray Diggs. Man, it's been a great day. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this thing jumping. Hold on. Hey, man, I want to talk about Arkansas high school football, man. So as y'all know, the Hootens just did their award ceremony, and it was two of them that really stood out to me. I don't want to start nothing, but it was two awards that stood out to me that I want to talk about. Okay, for a lot of people, they think that I'm going to talk about the Nakel Lewis losing to Creed Vega in 4A. Like I said, that award right there could have went to anybody, man. That award right there could have went to Nakel. It could have went to Creed Vega, which went to Creed Vega. Now, the quad Sanders, Bryant's head coach. That was the one that was a little head scratcher to me. Now, why do I say it was a head scratcher to me? Because, okay, I understand Bryant has gotten so accustomed to winning to where I think that we take it for granted how good Quad Sanders is as a head coach. Because they dominate everybody, they dominate all season, that we feeling like we take Quad Sanders for granted. Because when Buck James was at Bryant, they dominated. He got rewarded for that. Quad Sanders, I don't think he get the same rewards when it comes down to how Bryant, lose players and then they come back in the hardest conference in all of high school football, the biggest classification. I'm not gonna say the hardest conference, but I guess it is because it's the biggest classification in Arkansas high school football, which is 7A. So when I look at Quad Sanders, okay, that's the one that now I sent the text message out when a lot of these awards was given. I said, hey, from how it's looking, I think they're gonna give it to everybody who won a championship game. Then it got to Creed Vega, which is 4A, and he won it when they didn't win a conference. They didn't win a state championship. He won it. Like I said, it could have went to him or Nakel. Man. When I look at both of these, I get the argument for everybody. They feel like Nakel should have got it. I'm okay with either one of them getting it. The reason I said that when I looking at the stats, when I look at Creed Vega, I think that they gave it to Creed Vega really because of the defensive side of the ball. And I know y'all probably gonna disagree with that, but he played defense as well. Like he put up numbers on the offensive side, but he also played defense in which he had over 100 tackles as well. So I think that they added both of those up. And I know for some of y'all gonna be like, well, why did he get Defensive Player of the Year? Well, I think that they mixed this award in. I think that it was pretty much, hey, we're going to give it to him because he did it on both sides of the ball. Yes, Nakel had 54 touchdowns. Yes, he had 2,700 yards rushing, but this guy did it on both sides of the ball. So that's why I was kind of okay with them giving it to Creed Vega because I kind of already knew that he was going to win it. And the reason why is because Elkins did not have a player that was eligible. So I think that it was out of basically Man and Creed Vega. And I think that when you look at the teams, I think that the team success was something else that they put into it. You look at Hamburg went 9-3. Then you look at Darnell, they went 13-14. Well, they went 14-1. So I think that they added that in as well. Also, Darnell beat Hamburg. So I think that those three things right there pretty much added in. That is why I can see why they gave it to Creed Vega. But the Quad Sanders things, I didn't understand. I didn't. Because every other coach won it that had won the championship. Mansfield coach won it. Um, um, Elkins coach won it. 2A coach won it. Cross County, their coach won it. And Quad Sanders it was out of 6A and 7A. And they gave it to Bryant. I mean, not Bryant. They gave it to Stephen Hill's head coach. Now, I was going to argue this. I was going to say, why didn't they give it to Quad Sanders? But then I looked at what Sylvan Hill coach did. Sylvan Hill head coach, this right here was in his first season. His name is Mark Kelly, for people that don't know. This right here was his first season at Sylvan Hill. If y'all go back and y'all look, Sylvan Hill did not win any games last season. This team right here, he changed this team and got this team to the semifinals. This team almost went to the state finals. They lost to the eventual state champions, which was Shiloh Christian. So I'm looking at this team right here, and I'm thinking like, okay, I can understand why Sylvan Hill head coach won it. Because not only did he change around, he changed this team, and I'm talking about the entirety of this team. He turned this team from the laughing stock of 6A until hell, the second or third best team in 6A. I would probably say the only two teams I would put in a Sylvan Hill is probably, well, it ain't probably, I will, which is Greenwood, and I would put Shiloh Christian ahead of them, in which those two teams faced off in the championship. But Sylvan Hill had one of the best seasons that I've seen, a turnaround of a high school football team. And I think that their coach deserved it. I was okay. And even though Quad Sanders, I think that Bryant, they're in the hardest conference. You know, his team, they came back from 2 touchdowns down. They was down by 14 points with I think 3 minutes to go in the game. They ended up coming back against Rogers, going in overtime, winning the game, coming out in the state championship game, dominating Bentonville. Everything's that they've done has been a resilient team. But when I look at Sylvan Hill, I watched this team play multiple times this season. This team had one of the most dynamic offense that I've seen in all of high school football. I'm talking about one of the most dynamic offense. This offense right here was averaging easily over 40 points per game all season. I did not watch not one game where this team scored under 40. That tells me that this team right here have a explosive offense. They have a very explosive quarterback, and they have very explosive wide receivers. This team right here was one of the craziest turnarounds that I've seen of a high school team. Mark Kelly, you deserve this award. You deserve being the 6A, 7A coach of the year. And like I said, every other coach got it that won a championship. But I can't understand why Hootens gave it to Mark Kelly, being that he turned around a team like Sylvan Hill and turned them from being the laughing stock of Arkansas high school football into one of the most dangerous teams in Arkansas high school football. This is the first year that they made it this far. This is the first year that I think they only lost 2 games. They lost 1 game in the regular season, and they lost 1 game in like I said, in the semifinals. This was a dynamic team, the Sylvan Hill Bears. A very good team. So those are the 2 things. And I look back at it and I said, man, you can make the same argument, but then I had to stop myself. Because I was going to try to make an argument that Tim Rogers could have won from Fordyce. But I'm going to tell you why I stopped myself. Because, yes, Tim Rogers could have easily won it, even though Mansfield coach won it. They won the state championship, so I, applaud them. But when I look at the adversity that Fordyce had to bounce back from, think about it. A quarterback tear his ACL. They missed the Lake Village game. They had multiple starters out. Everybody was thinking that it was pretty much over with after the Lake Village game. A lot of people was pretty much saying, man, this Fordyce team cannot make it through the playoff with all of these injuries. And somehow Tim Rogers, he get his team back, he get them back focused, and then let's say Fordyce is 13-1 going into the state championship game. They eventually lost, but they was 13-1 going into the championship game. And that right there had a lot to do with Tim Rogers. So you can make that same argument. that with the injuries and the difficulties on um, um, injuries and everything else that was going on with the Fordyce Redbugs, he still got that team to the state championship game. So you can make a really big argument that dude right there could have easily been the 3A coach of the year. But I can understand Mansfield. They went 14-0. They won the state championship 14 or 15-0. Didn't lose no games. They won the state championship game. They ran for almost 500 yards in the state championship game. So I understand, totally understand why they gave it to him. But you can really make an argument. And I would like to see those. I would like to see what these numbers was between Quai Sanders and Mark Kelly, and also Tim Rogers and Mansfield's head coach. I want to see the numbers on how close that this award was. I want to know who made it in second place. But hey, yeah, that's what I was, man. I wanted to come on and say this right here, man. I had been thinking about this right here for a couple of days now, and I had to come on and I had to talk about it because you know, a lot of people were saying that they feel like that, you know, the awards, hey, man, it was wrong that they didn't give it to this person and they gave it to that person. And I just want to give y'all a little bit of insight on what I think that they was thinking, especially when it comes down to Nakia Lewis from Hamburg and Creed Vega from Darnell. Like I said, you don't have to be no rocket scientist. You don't have to, you can like who you want to like. Put the film on of both players. At the end of the day, I think Nakia was very deserving of that 4A player of the year. But I can also say that I'm not mad that Creed Vega got it because I think he was very deserving of it as well. When you can play on offense and then switch right over and come and play on defense, I think that right there is what the voters was looking at. I think they was looking at over the 4,000, 5,000 yards, all the touchdowns that he was making. He had 7 touchdowns against 7 touchdowns against Warren. He had like 6 or 5 against Monticello. He had like 4 or 5 against Hamburg. So this kid right here pretty much dominated the entire season. He got his team. And when you go into a game, you know, I need to stop that guy. And that's what Creed Vega was. And that's right there why I said, man, I wish 2 players could have gotten it because Nakia really do deserve it as well, because like I said, 53 touchdowns, 54 touchdowns. I don't think that record is going to be broken anytime soon. But knowing right now with how high school football work, possibly somebody can break that record in a year or next year or a year, 2 or 3 years from now. You just never know when it comes down to high school football. Players are different now. These players, they you know, rush for 1,000 yards one season, the next season they rush for 3,000 yards. So you just never know, man, when you look at this, when you look at the kids now. So, but I think that this record, especially in Hamburg history, I don't know if that record is going to be broken anytime soon. That record is going to last a very long time by Nakia Lewis, which is that the 54 touchdowns, man, because that shit is that is crazy. That's a crazy stat, man. But congratulations to all people, to all the awardees, man, that was on the Hootens high school football player of the year list. All y'all deserve it. Hell, even Blaze Fellows. The kid had over 80 receptions, 1,900 receiving yards. The kid had 25 touchdowns. Like I was saying, when I was listening to his stats, I was like, bro, this dude had 25 touchdowns. Bro, do you know how hard it is for a wide receiver to get 25 touchdowns? Like, that's very hard to do. And I was just impressed, man, by how, and even Dak Jackson didn't. He's a junior, but even if he was a senior, he would have been up there. And honestly, I think that if Jackson Denton was a senior, I think Jackson Denton would have won that award, a player 4A player of the year. And the reason why is because the kid threw for 5,000 yards. The kid had 59 touchdowns. Just think about it. That's almost 60 touchdowns. And like I said, but he wasn't on the list. But I think if he was on that list, the kid could have easily won that award. But hey, man, just like I said, man, I just want to say congratulations to all of you all. A lot of these players are getting ready to head off to college now. So, hey, it's on to the next season, y'all. We're about to go ahead and start getting ready for next season. The players to watch, man. We're going to do a lot of podcasting. Hey, man, before I get off, man, hey, make sure y'all go over there and like my boys over there at C-Arc Sports. That's C-Arc, C-S-E-A, you know, like the C. Then you got Arc, Arkansas, A-R-K, and Sports, man. They do a great job over there. Go over there, like, and subscribe to their channel. They do amazing stuff. Actually, they was over there earlier doing the basketball. They do the basketball thing. I talk a little bit about basketball, but I'm more of a football guy, man. I talk about college football. I mean, I talk about college basketball, women's college basketball, men's college basketball, and I normally talk a little bit about the NBA. But I went away from talking about high school basketball a lot. I follow it, but I'm not really, into it that much. But like I said before, man, go over there, like their channel. They doing amazing jobs over there. They doing big numbers. Screaming games. If it's a game that you can't make it to, like tonight, Rising Hamburg. Hey, they screamed that game. That was a hell of a game. They screamed the game the other night, Hamburg Lake Village. That was a crazy game. So hey, make sure y'all go over there, like them, like their channels as well, man. Like I said, they do amazing stuff. They're putting these kids on. Go over there also. He put together a film on Blaze Fellows, man. Oh man, that was amazing, man. I'm hoping college are watching this. I'm hoping college are seeing this right here, because Blaze Fellows is he's 6'3", 175 pounds roughly. The kid can run, he can catch. Very athletic wide receiver. Kind of remind me of a former Warren great, which is, if people don't know, he kind of remind me of either Chris Griggs or Greg Childs. It's a mixture. I would probably go with Greg Childs because he's lanky, just like him, kind of tall. I won't say Brett Smith, because Brett Smith was just a little bit different, but he kind of remind me of, I would say, Greg Childs, if it was anybody that I can pick from Warren, that Blaze Fellows remind me of. But like I said, college has got to go, man. Y'all go over there, look at the kids' film, look at this kid film, man. They do an amazing job breaking down his film and everything. And like I said, he is a hell of a wide receiver. I love watching the kid play. It's like he makes it look so easy out there on the football field. But hey, man, like I said before, man, thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Until next time, man, y'all have a great Thursday night, man. Hey, make sure y'all be safe out there. Until next time, y'all, peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose trace. She raised me on scraps.